Well, first of all, I'm running for governor because I believe Indiana can and should be doing better. We deserve better leadership. And the choices, people are going to make choices as selection. They're going to have to choose between someone that, politics of the past or the same old that we've had versus somebody that has a new vision for our state with a plan for success. Vote for change or more of the same. They have to vote for people that want to launch negative tax and distort the truth, or somebody that really wants to provide a vision for this state with a plan for success. But I think the long and short of it is that if you're looking for a fresh face, if you're looking for somebody that grew up in a working class family, that helped work his way through school at a tool and die shop and has helped build a successful architectural business based on the principles of listening to people, valuing people, bringing them together and building consensus, then I'm your guy. If you're looking for people that have been in politics for a quarter of a century, you have two other choices.
Do you think the 2008 presidential race has been overshadowing the governor's race in Indiana?
No, I think it's going to bring, it has, and it'll continue to bring a lot of excitement to the election in general. And there's going to be an unprecedented primary turnout, and I think that we should all be so excited that this Indiana is actually going to have an impact on the national scene. The eyes of the nation are on Indiana. That's a great thing.
But as far as you think they're not talking so much as if it wasn't on the eyes and everything was settled when primaries were moved up, do you think that the governor's race is not, people aren't really talking about that?
No, I don't find that to be the case. I've been on 180 trips around the state, over 180 trips around the state. I've been in every one of the 92 counties. And frankly, I think the people of the state are paying a lot of attention to it. That may not be the case with the media because there's a lot of distractions and there's so much vying for time in the media. Look at the legislative section and this tax crisis that we're under. That commanded enormous amounts of attention from the media because it's so important to the state.
So you think they're still paying attention to the governor's race as well?
I think they are. I think they are, and I think they'll continue because they know the stakes are high.
How do you plan on patching up the healthcare system here in Indiana?
Well, the first thing we have to do is get Hoosiers convinced all across this state that everyone in this state should be entitled to health care as a right, not a privilege.
How do you plan on doing that?
By having a world-class health care program and reprioritizing the things that we spend our state revenues on. There's 800,000 Hoosiers without health insurance in the state, and 125,000 are kids. And the thing about it is 86% of these people come from working families. And so I'm going to be launching my health care plan in a couple weeks, so stay tuned for that, and you'll see how I plan to resolve it.
Factories seem to be making their way out of Indiana. How do you plan on bringing jobs to Indiana that will stay here?
Well, we've lost over 27,700 manufacturing jobs under this governor's watch. Just yesterday, I did launch, my plan is going to be referred to as, I call it the Pickup Indiana Plan. And underneath that, in the next weeks, I'm going to be releasing the Schellinger Pickup Indiana Jobs and Economic Plan, which we did yesterday. It's on my website.
Well, what jobs can you bring here that aren't going to be swing over to China, India?
Well, here's what we're going to focus on my jobs plan. One, we have got to work on education in our workforce. So the first part of my plan increases workforce education and skills training. That's key. Companies come here because of people. They come here because we have skilled workers, and right now our workforce is failing in terms of their skill sets and education. The second part of the plan is to focus on small businesses. I plan to establish the Office of Small Business Advancement that can be a single source, one-stop shopping for people to come in, small businesses, to figure out how to navigate in a global economy and how to have healthcare pools. You talked about healthcare a minute ago. The Office of Small Business Advancement will be the office that administers healthcare pools. Today in our state, you can pool, companies can pool, but you have to do it on your own. This will be a statewide program. And the third thing, which gets directly to your question, is that we are going to focus on promoting sustainable economic development by creating green-collar jobs. There's a whole industry out there waiting that could be filling our manufacturing plants right here in Indiana if we would commit to that.
What's your stance on the environment?
Well, as an architect, you can imagine that the environment is very important to me. And I think it's very important that we focus on renewable energies and solar technology, turbine technology. Our plants are equipped and ready to go to make that kind of technology and to make that kind of manufacturing leap if, in fact, we're committed to it.
Are you for or against ethanol?
I support alternative fuel research, and I think not only ethanol but other alternative fuels like biomass. Again, Indiana is very well equipped to pursue these things. And I also support the fact that we've got to work hard to start to lower our greenhouse emissions. We owe that to the next generation.
Have you chosen which presidential nominee that you'll vote for?
Well, first of all, back even when John Edwards was in the race, I was thrilled that we have 3 great candidates, now down to 2, and both of our candidates are going to do better than what the other side's putting forth.
Have you chosen a side yet?
No, I haven't.